Sit, Christian says. Don't touch anything, he orders as he climbs in beside me. He shuts the door with a slam. I'm glad that the area is floodlit, otherwise I'd find it difficult to see inside the small cockpit. I sit down in my allocated seat and he crouches beside me to strap me into the harness. It's a 4-point harness with all the straps connecting to one central buckle. He tightens both of the upper straps so I can hardly move. He's so close and intent on what he's doing. If I could only lean forward, my nose would be in his hair. He smells clean, fresh, heavenly, but I'm fastened securely into my seat and effectively immobile. He glances up and smiles, like he's enjoying his usual private joke. His eyes heated. He's so tantalizingly close. I hold my breath as he pulls at one of the upper straps. You're secure, no escaping, he whispers. Breathe, Anastasia, he adds softly. Reaching up, he caresses my cheek, running his long fingers down to my chin, which he grasps between his thumb and forefinger. He leans forward and plants a brief, chastity kiss, leaving me reeling, my insides clenching at the thrilling, unexpected touch of his lips. I like this harness, he whispers. What? He sits down beside me and buckles himself into his seat, then begins the procedure of checking gauges and flipping switches and buttons from the mind-boggling array of dials and lights and switches in front of me. Little light winks and flash from various dials and the whole of the instrument panel lights up. Put your cans on, he says, pointing to a set of headphones in front of me. I pull them on and the rotor blades start. They are deafening. He puts his headphones on and continues flipping various switches. I'm just going through all the pre-light checks. Christian's disembodied voice is in my ears through the headphones. I turn and grin at him. Do you know what you are doing? I ask. He turns and smiles at me. I've been a fully qualified pilot for 4 years, Anastasia. You're safe with me. He gives me a wolfish grin. Well, while we're flying, he adds, and winks at me. Winking, Christian. Are you ready? I nod wide-eyed. Okay. This is Charlie Tango Golf Echo Hotel, cleared for takeoff. Please confirm. Over. Charlie Tango, you are clear. PDX to call. Proceed to 14,000 heading 010. Over. Roger. Tower, Charlie Tango. Set over and out. Here we go, he adds to me. And the helicopter rises slowly and smoothly into the air. Portland disappears in front of us as we head into US airspace, though my stomach remains firmly in Oregon. Wow. All the bright lights shrink until they are twinkling sweetly below us. It's like looking out from inside a fishbowl. Once we're higher, there really is nothing to see. It's pitch black, not even the moon to shed any light on our journey. How can he see where we're going? Eerie, isn't it? Christian's voice is in my ear. How do you know you're going the right way? Here, he points his long index finger to one of the gorges, and it shows an electronic compass. This is an EC-135 Eurocopter, one of the safest in its class. It's equipped for night flight. He glances and grins at me. There's a helipad on top of the building I live in. That's where we're heading. Of course, there's a helipad where he lives. I am so out of my league here. His face is softly illuminated by the lights on the instrumental panel. He's concentrating hard, and he's continually glancing at the various dials in front of him. I drink in his features from beneath my lashes. He has a beautiful profile, straight nose, square jaw. I'd like to run my tongue along his jaw. He hasn't shaved, and his stubble makes the prospect doubly tempting. I'd like to feel how rough it is beneath my tongue, my fingers against my face. When you fly at night, you fly blind. You have to trust the instrumentation, he says, interrupting my erotic reverie. How long will the flight be? I manage breathlessly. I wasn't thinking about sex at all. No way. Less than an hour, the wind is in our favour. Less than an hour to Seattle. That's not bad going. No wonder we're flying. I have less than an hour before the big reveal. All the muscles clench deep in my belly. I have a serious case of butterflies. They are flourishing in my stomach. Holy shit, what was he got in store for me? You okay, Anastasia? Yes, my answer is short, clipped, squeezed out through my nerves. I think he smiles, but it's difficult to tell in the darkness. Christian flicks yet another switch. PDX, this is Charlie Tango, now at 14,000 over. He exchanges information with air traffic control. It all sounds very professional. I think we're moving from Portland's airspace to Seattle International Airport. Understood? SeaTac standing over. Bye. Over and out. Look over there. He points to a small pinpoint of light in the far distance. That's Seattle. Do you always impress women this way? Come and fly in my helicopter, I asked, genuinely interested. I've never brought a girl up here, Anastasia. It's another first for me. His voice is quiet, serious. Oh, that was an unexpected answer. Another first? Oh, the sleeping thing, perhaps. Are you impressed? I'm awed, Christian. He smiles. Awed? And for a brief moment he's his age again. I nod. You're just so competent. Why, thank you, Miss Steele, he says politely. I think he's pleased, but I'm not sure. We ride in the dark night in silence for a while. The bright spot that is Seattle is slowly getting bigger. SeaTac Tower to Charlie Tango, flight plan to Escalade in place. Please proceed and stand by, over. This is Charlie Tango, understood SeaTac, standing by, over and out. You obviously enjoy this, I murmur. What? He glances at me. He looks quizzed in a half light of the instruments. Flying, I reply. It requires control and concentration. How could I not love it? Though my face is soaring. Soaring. Yes, gliding to the Laperson. Gliders and helicopters, I fly them both. Oh, expensive hobbies. I remember him telling me during the interview. I like reading and occasionally going to the movies. I am at my depth here. Charlie Tango, come in please, over. The disembodied voice of air traffic control interrupts my reverie. Christian answers, surrounding in control and confident. Seattle is getting closer. We are on the very outskirts now. Wow, it looks absolutely stunning. Seattle at night from the sky. Looks good, doesn't it? Christian murmurs. I nod enthusiastically. It looks otherworldly, unreal, and I feel like I'm on a giant film set. Jose's favourite film, maybe, Blade Runner. The memory of Jose's attempted kiss haunts me. I'm beginning to feel a bit cruel not calling him back. He can wait until tomorrow, surely. We'll be there in a few minutes, Christian mutters, and suddenly my blood is pounding in my ears. As my heartbeat accelerates and adrenaline spikes through my system, he starts talking to air traffic control again, but I am no longer listening. I think I'm going to faint. My fate is in his hands. We are now flying among the buildings, and up ahead I can see a tall skyscraper with a helipad on top. The word Escalade is painted in white on top of the building. It's getting nearer and nearer, bigger and bigger, like my anxiety. God, I hope I don't let him down. He'll find me lacking in some way. I wish I'd listened to Kate and borrowed one of her dresses, but I like my black jeans, and I'm wearing a soft mint green shirt and Kate's black jacket. I look smart enough. I grip the edge of my seat tighter and tighter. I can do this. I can do this. I chant this mantra as the skyscraper looms below us. The helicopter slows and hovers, and Christian sets it down on the helipad on top of the building. My heart is in my mouth. I can't decide if it's from nerves or relief that we're arrived alive, or fear that I will fall in some way. He switches the ignition off on the rotor blade slow and quiet until all I hear is the sound of my own erratic breathing. Christian takes my headphones off and reaches across and pulls mine off too. "We're here," he says softly. His look is so intense, half in shadow and half in the light. White light from the landing lights. Dark night and white night. It's a fitting metaphor for Christian. He looks strained. His jaw is clenched and his eyes are tight. He unfastens his seatbelt and reaches over to unbuckle mine. His face is inches from mine. "You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You know that, don't you?" His tone is so earnest, desperate even. His eyes impassioned. He takes me by surprise. I'd never do anything I didn't want to do, Christian, and as I say the words, I don't quite feel their conviction, because at this moment in time, I'd probably do anything for this man seated beside me, but this does the trick. Feel mollified. His eyes me wearily for the moment, and somehow, even though he's so tall, he manages to ease his way gracefully to the door of the helicopter and open it. He jumps out, waiting for me to follow, and takes my hand as I clamber down onto the helipad. It's very windy on top of the building, and I'm nervous about the fact that I'm standing at least 30 stories high in an unexplored space. Christian wraps his arms around my waist, pulling me tightly against him. "Come," he shouts, above the noise of the wind. He drags me over to the elevator, and after tapping a number into a keypad, the doors open. It's warm inside and all mirrored glass. I can see Christian to infinity everywhere I look, and the wonderful thing is he's holding me to infinity too. Christian taps another code into the keypad, then the doors close and the elevator descends. Moments later, we're in all white foyer. In the middle is a round dark wood table, and on it is an unbelievably huge bunch of white flowers. On the walls there are paintings everywhere. He opens a set of double doors, and the white theme continues across a wide corridor, where directly opposite is the entrance to a partial room. It's the main living area. Double height, huge. Is too small a word for it. The far wall is glass and leads onto the balcony that overlooks Seattle. To the right is an imposing U-shaped sofa that could seat 10 adults comfortably. It faces a state-of-the-art stainless steel, or maybe platinum for all I know, modern fireplace. The fire is lit and flaming gently. On the left beside us by the entryway is the kitchen, all white with dark wood, worktops and a breakfast bar that seats 6. Near the kitchen area, in front of the glass wall, is a dining table surrounded by 16 chairs, and tucked in the corner is a full-size shiny black grand piano. Oh yes, he probably plays the piano too. There is art of all shapes and sizes on all of the walls. In fact, this apartment looks more like a gallery than a place to live. "Can I take your jacket?" Christian asks. I shake my head. I'm still cold from the wind on the helipad. "Would you like a drink?" he asks. I blink at him. After last night, he is trying to be funny. For 1 second, I think about asking for a margarita, but I don't have the nerve. "I'm going to have a glass of white wine. Would you like to join me?" "Yes, please," I murmur. I am standing in this enormous room, feeling out of place. I walk over to the glass wall and I realise that the lower half of the wall's open, concertina style, into a balcony. Seattle is lit up and lively in the background. I walk back to the kitchen area. It takes a few seconds. It's so far from the glass wall, and Christian is opening a bottle of wine. He's removed his jacket. "Purely fun, okay with you? I know nothing about wine, Christian. I'm sure it will be fine." My voice is soft and hesitant. My heart is thumping. I want to run. This is seriously rich, seriously over-the-top Bill Gates style wealthy. What am I doing here? "You know very well what you're doing here," my subconscious sneers at me. "Yes, I want to be in Christian Grey's bed." "Here." He hands me a glass of wine. Even the glasses are rich, heavy, contemporary crystal. I take a sip and the wine is light, crisp and delicious. "You're very quiet and you're not even blushing. In fact, I think this is the palest I've ever seen you, Anastasia. He murmurs, "Are you hungry?" I shake my head. "Not for food. It's a very big place you have here. Big. Big." "It's big," he agrees, and his eyes glow with amusement. I take another sip of wine. "Do you play?" I point my chin at the piano. "Yes. Well, yes. Of course you do." "Is there anything you can't do well?" "Yes, a few things." He takes a sip of his wine. He doesn't take his eyes off me. I feel them following me as I turn and glance around this vast room. Room is the wrong word. It's not a room. It's a mission statement. "Do you want to sit?" I nod, and he takes my hand and leads me to the large off-white couch. As I sit, I'm struck by the fact that I feel like Tess Durbeyfield, looking at the new house that belongs to the notorious Alec de D'Urberville. The thought that makes me smile. What's so amusing? He sits down beside me, turning to face me. He rests his head on the right hand, his elbow popped on the back of the couch. "Why did you give me Tess of the D'Urberville specifically?" I ask. Christian stares at me for a moment. I think he's surprised by my question. "Well, you said you liked Thomas Hardy. Is that the only reason?" Even I can hear the disappointment in my voice. His mouth presses into a hard line. "It seemed appropriate. I could hold you to some impossibly high ideal, like Angel Clare, or debase her completely like Alec de D'Urberville," he murmurs, and his eyes flash dark and dangerous. "If there are only two choices, I'll take the debasement," I whisper, gazing at him. My subconscious is staring at me in awe. He gasps. "Anastasia, stop biting your lip, please. It's very distracting." "You don't know what you're saying." "That's why I'm here." He frowns. "Yes. Would you excuse me for a moment?" He disappears through a wide doorway on the far side of the room. He's gone for a couple of minutes and returns with a document. "This is the non-disclosure agreement," he shrugs, and has the grace to look a little embarrassed. "My lawyer insists on it." He hands it to me. I'm completely bemused. "If you're going for option 2, debasement, you'll need to sign this. And if I don't want to sign anything, then it's Angel Clare, high ideals. Well, for most of the book anyway." "What does this agreement mean?" "It means you cannot disclose anything about us, anything to anyone." I stare at him in disbelief. Holy shit, it's bad, really bad. And now I'm very curious to know. "Okay, I'll sign." He hands me a pen. "Aren't you even going to read it?" "No," he frowns. "Anastasia, you should always read anything you sign," he admonishes me. "Christian, what you fail to understand is that I wouldn't talk about us to anyone anyway, even Kate. So it's immaterial whether I sign an agreement or not. If it means so much to you or your lawyer, whom you obviously talk to, then fine, I'll sign." He gazes down at me and he nods gravely. Fair point, well made, Miss Steele. I lavishly sign on the dotted line of both copies and hand one back to him. Folding the other, I place it in my purse and take a large swig of my wine. I am sounding so much braver than I am actually feeling. "Does this mean you're going to make love to me tonight, Christian?" Holy shit, did I just say that? His mouth drops open slightly, but he recovers quickly. "No, Anastasia, it doesn't. First, I don't make love, I fuck. I fuck hard. Second, there's a lot more paperwork to do. And third, you don't know yet what you're in for. You could still run for the hills. Come, I want to show you my playroom." My mouth drops open. Fuck hard, holy shit, that sounds so hot. But why are we looking at a playroom? I am mystified. "You want to play on your Xbox?" I ask. He laughs loudly. "No, Anastasia, no Xbox, no PlayStation. Come." He stands holding out his hand. I let him lead me back out to the corridor. On the right of the double doors where we came in, another door leads to a staircase. We go up to the second floor and turn right. Producing a key from his pocket, he unlocks yet another door and takes a deep breath. "You can leave any time. The helicopter is on standby to take you whenever you want to go. You could stay the night and go home in the morning. It's fine, whatever you decide. Just open the damn door, Christian. He opens the door and stands back to let me in. I gaze at him once more. I so want to know what's in here. Take a deep breath. I walk in. And it feels like I've time travelled back to the 16th century and the Spanish Inquisition. Holy fuck.